Hi everybody, it's Brian here again, here to go over what I picked up for the past week or so, and I picked up quite a bit. Found some good deals. So I'll start off with the magazines I ordered. These are relatively new since Nintendo Power went out of, actually went, stopped. They stopped publishing Nintendo Power. I've been getting Retro Gamer, as you know. There was also two print magazines that came out. I got the first issue of Nintendo Force here, and this was I very much like the first issue. I got it just to have the first issue, see if I'd like it. It was kind of pricey. It was $21 after shipping because they had to print it themselves through MagCloud. Um, and they're talking about having a subscription in the next issues. But it's set up just like Nintendo Power. They have very similar like articles, and they have like each editor's like me and stuff like that. And it's a good issue, and I'm happy. I don't regret spending 21 on it because I love magazines. Will I spend another $21 for the next issue? It depends. If I have the money to spend, then I probably will. But it's nice to have just to, to see them keep a print magazine going. Also, there was another issue, another magazine that came out called Pure Nintendo, and this is also, I ordered a yearly subscription of this, and this is issue number 8. And you can see Rayman Legends on the front, which I'm really excited for that game coming out in the end of February. I haven't read, I've flipped through these, and it looks really cool. These are like Nintendo Power memories. They talk about each of their memories of Nintendo Power, all the editors. This was the issue that came out when Nintendo Power, their last issue, so they talk about all their Nintendo Power memories. So yeah, that's that. I did order a subscription. I think it was 21 bucks for 12 issues. This is issue number 8. I think you can get the previous issues by order only on PDF for $5 each or something like that. Also picked up a $1 strategy guide for Eternal Darkness. And I haven't played this game yet, even though I have it. I keep hearing great things about it. So I'll definitely give that a shot. And for $1, it has a little bit of water damage, but it looks like it's okay. So, picked up quite a few games. I think for this time I'll start with the disc-based games first. For $5, I picked up Excitebots Trick Racing. I think this is the follow-up to Excite Truck. So for $5, Wii games are starting to get real cheap. So I've been picking up more Wii games lately because they're like $5, $8 for, common stuff. Picked up for $8, I think it was Castlevania Judgment. I'm a big Castlevania fan, and I didn't really want, when this was $20 or so, I didn't want to really get it because I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but it's a Castlevania game. I could justify that. And besides, I don't really care for the artwork, but I'm going to give it a shot and play it. So we'll see what that's like. Also picked up a shoot 'em up, Castle of Shikigami 3. This was also $6 or $7 or $8 around there. It looks similar to Ikaruga. I stink at these games, but it just looks so colorful and awesome on the back that I had to get it and give it a try. Like I said, Wii games are getting really cheap, so it's nice to build up, your Wii collection at this point with the Wii U and all the new consoles coming out late next year, early next year or so. Also picked up, I've been looking to get this game for a while. This is Lollipop Chainsaw. It's a Suda51 game. He also did Killer 7 on the GameCube. Was also on the PS2. He did No More Heroes 1 and 2. Shadows of the Damned on the Xbox. This is his latest one, if I recall correctly. It came out last year, or when did it? This year, actually, early this year. And I've been waiting for the price to drop on this. I got it for $11, so that's the cheapest, and I jumped on it. For the GameCube, I picked up one game, and this is Sphinx and the Cursed Mummy. And I have no idea what this is like. I haven't played it. It was pretty cheap, I think $5 or so. $6, sorry. And it looked pretty cool. So I love platformers, so I'll give it a shot. I picked up quite a few for the Xbox. Picked up for $2.50 Breakdown, and this looked interesting. It was a first-person fighting game, like action game. Looked kind of interesting. This is a multi-platform game. Was on the GameCube as well. I think it's Metal Arms Glitch in the System. This was $5, I think. Silent Hill 4: The Room. I think this was $8. I never played a Silent Hill game. I have Silent Hill 2 on the PC, which I started, but something went wrong with the sound was glitching up and I didn't feel like patching it, so I'm looking for that one on the Xbox. I think it came out for the Xbox as well, so I might pick up the second Silent Hill for the Xbox, but the fourth one intrigued me because you're stuck in the room. That's all I know about it, so looking forward to that. Pick up Torque the Prehistoric Punk. I have no idea what this is, but the graphics look cool. It has a fire level, and it's a platformer, so that has to be good. I love platform games like this. I also want to pick up Voodoo Vince. Picked up Blackstone Magic and Steel. This looks like a Gauntlet, 3D Gauntlet, Dungeons and Dragons kind of fighting beat 'em up game. So kind of cool. And what really caught me was the cover art of this. It looks very anime-ish. And I never heard of Zycat before, but if it's a beat 'em up, I love beat 'em ups, and so I should get some enjoyment out of this. Picked up a game, also a first-person shooter exclusive to the Xbox called Dark Watch, which is, I remember when this came out, your ammo was the enemies you found, and it was like a Wild West kind of, almost like, it gives me a feel of Dark Tower almost, like, for some reason, I don't know why. I listened to the audiobook of the Dark Tower and I stopped because I kind of confused, but it gives me that feel, but I don't know, I could just be weird. Picked up 2 Evil Dead games for the Xbox. The first one is Evil Dead Fistful of Boomstick, and that was followed up by Evil Dead Regeneration. These look like third-person action games, and I really like Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, and so, you know, for cheap, they're worth it. So that is all of those games. I'll start also with the handheld stuff I got. I'll start with the Game Gear. I picked up, these were all $2.50 or $1, I believe. Beavis and Butthead for the Game Gear, sorry. Shinobi, I have Shinobi 2 for the Game Gear, and I have the first Shinobi. And I heard this is really good. Different than the Genesis ones, but in a good way. Jurassic Park. Sonic Chaos, now I have all the Sonic games for the... Actually, after I show you the next one, I'll have all the Sonic games for the Game Gear. Sonic the Hedgehog. And this one will complete my Sonic collection. And this is Sonic Blast. And I've never seen a complete Game Gear game in a box since when I used to go over to my friend Brett's house back in... Oh, when he had a Game Gear. And the boxes are really cool. But they're really hard to find. I had to pick it up. I think that was $5 too. None of this stuff was more than $5. For the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, start with the Game Boy Color, I picked Metal Walkers. Metal Walker, sorry. And Bionic Commando for the Game Boy Color. And I did play a little bit of this, and it feels like Bionic Commando. And I played, I think, up to the second level. Also picked up, for $1, Hyanki Alien. No idea what this is, but I love the name, and it was $1. For the Game Boy Advance, to finish my Wario Land games, I picked up Wario Land 4. Now I have all the Super Mario Land 2, or 3, I think was Wario Land. And then I have all of them now, except for I'm missing the one on the the Wii, Wario Land Shake It, which I'm looking for. And I heard this is really fun. I had this for the 3DS. It came with the Advanced Ambassador program. And I wanted a cartridge of it, so I picked it up. That was $5, I think. For the N64, I completed my Turok collection. Here's Turok 3, Shadows of Oblivion, which I've never played. Oh, and also one more Game Boy Advance game for $2.50, Sigma Star Saga. This is almost, from what I hear, it's almost like the Guardian Legend. There's shooting elements, shooting stages, and on foot like RPG-ish element or action elements. For the DS, I picked up. I'm a big Ninja Gaiden fan, I used to say Gaiden when I was a kid. I picked up Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword, and this is a unique. I never heard anything about this game because I didn't get a DS until 2008, and I think this was out. Yeah, it was an early release, 2004. So I would have heard about it, but apparently you play it instead of holding the DS horizontally, you flip it vertically. I have no idea how you. I think maybe to do with the stylus, but I haven't played it yet, so always good to have a Ninja Gaiden game. Let's start with the Genesis. For the Genesis, I picked up. I used to love Mutant League Football. I used to play it at my friend's house, and I never played this one. It's Mutant League Hockey, and it's based on the NHL '94 engine. But I love Mutant League Football. And this is hockey, so it has to be better. I would think so, because, I mean, if it's anything like Mutant League Football, I mean, it's going to be amazing. This game is a bad game, but it's bad in that kind of so bad that... Anyway, let me go back to the story. When I was a kid, I read an EGM magazine or something. There was a ad for Mondu's Fight Palace. And there was this big, fat, like Jabba the Hutt-looking guy who handled this fighting tournament. And if anybody remembers that ad, it was in quite a few magazines. But the game came out, but it wasn't called Mondu's Fight Palace in America. It was called Slaughter Sport. This game, I've never played it, but I was always looking for that Mondu's Fight Palace. And when I saw the back of this, it clicked that this was that game. And I checked it online, and sure enough, this is Mondu's Fight Palace. It was also on the PC, DOS, as Fat Man something. I think Lazy Game Reviews did a review of it. I like his. He's a great reviewer. Lazy Game Reviews. So yeah, I'm happy to have that, even though it's not the greatest of game, but it's like one of those so bad it's good kind of games. Now we'll go on to the NES. I picked quite a few NES games up. This one came with the manual. It's WWF WrestleMania Challenge. Now I'm only missing, I think, the King of the Ring game for the Nintendo wrestling games, for the WWF games. An arcade game I used to play, Tubin, Tenjin. The game I used to rent, and I remember being okay, as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, or why did I say? I'm sorry, Terminator 2: Judgment Day. My friend brought this every once in a while, we played it, and I kind of liked it. Roadrunner, a Tenjin Kart. A game I never played, Karate Kid, and I think this was $2.50 or $5. And I see, like everybody else, they saw the AVGN's review, and that's the only experience I ever had with this game. But since I'm going for as many NES games as I can, I'll even get the crap if it's priced low enough. And I'll find some enjoyment out of this just to play it. I usually find enjoyment out of every game. Another game, Dick Tracy, I've never played. Box Tenjin game. I have this for the Master System. Now I have it for the Nintendo. Alien Syndrome. And it's a nice top-down shooter, like Akari Warriors, but more like Contra action than Akari Warriors. So it's like a mix of Akari Warriors and Contra. For $1, Tecmo NBA Basketball. Probably never play this game whatsoever, but it's a Nintendo game, and I love Nintendo games. Picked up Millipede, and I've never played this. I played Centipede a little bit, in the arcade with the little roller. Dudes with Attitude. I have no idea what this game's about. It's one of those weird cartridges that you see with the press here, and third-party cartridges, or unlicensed cartridges. Star Trek 25th Anniversary. Wheel of Fortune. And Batman Return of Joker, which I've never played, but the original Batman on Sunsoft I played, and this is the follow-up to it, I believe. There's one more Batman game that I remember on the Nintendo that I can recall as Batman Returns, and I did order that one off of eBay because I wanted to complete the Batman collection on the NES. So that should be coming next week or so. For the Super Nintendo, to complete my Addams Family games on the Super Nintendo. I picked up Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt. I picked up a movie game, Demolition Man. I used to like the movie, so I don't know what the game's like. I also picked up Beavis and Butthead for the SNES. Now I have it for the Genesis, SNES, and Game Gear. The Page Master for $2.50, I think. Micro Machines. I had Earthworm Jim 2 for the SNES. I picked up Earthworm Jim. I also heard that the Earthworm Jim on the Super Nintendo and Genesis are kind of different in their play styles. I heard the Genesis one controls a little better, but I haven't played anyone but the Genesis, so I'll find that out. Also picked up Final Fight 3, so now I have Final Fight 1, 2, and 3. And I did play some of this up to level 4, and it's Final Fight. It's fun. There's like if you do a Hadouken, the Hadouken half-quarter circle, you'll throw a Hadouken. You have like a supercharge meter, and I really like it. It's a fun game. I love all beat-em-ups. And here's an Enix game I've never heard of, but I love Enix games on the Super Nintendo. This is Robotrek, and from what I understand, it almost has Pokemon-ish elements, and I've never played a Pokemon game, so maybe that'll introduce me a little bit to it. But you don't fight. You're a kid, but you don't fight. Your robots fight for you, and that's how the Pokemon element is. But yeah, I'm interested to try that. And that is completely everything I got. So I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.